Hey guys, The Rock here. I wanted to start making some tutorials and guides for CSGO on my channel. And as I was thinking of what to go over first, I realized that the prerequisite for all deeper CS theory is aim. As a player, you need to have as good or better aim than your opponents, or else no matter how strong your strategy or your execution, you're not going to be successful. So for my first installment in what I hope to be a long series on how to become a better player, I'd like to talk about improving your aim. Keep in mind that I don't consider myself an excellent player, but being at the supreme level in matchmaking, I've got about 300 ESEA pucks under my belt and 3 seasons of league level play. I've picked up a lot of tips that I feel a lot of players can benefit from. The first thing that I'll advise you to do is to examine your sensitivity. Most pro players play on 400 DPI and play between 1.5 and 3 in game sense. Personally, I play on 1.75 on 400 DPI, and if your sensitivity is very far from this range, I would definitely consider finding a comfortable sensitivity within that range. Players with higher sensitivities suffer a lot from inconsistency in their aim, and while lowering your sense has a learning curve, you'll be very happy that you did a week later. I'd advise you to follow the link here in the video now, or the link in the description below, to a very useful guide on how to find the perfect sensitivity for you. Now, practicing your aim is more than just going into an FFA server and trying to get as many kills as you can. In fact, your kill-death ratio in Deathmatch is a very poor indicator of how successful you are in training your aim. Aim can be thought of as 3 different parts: flick aim, tracking aim, and spray control. Even deeper than that, we can talk about target acquisition time in your flick aim in conjunction with the accuracy of your flicks. You'll need to carefully examine which part of your aim is the weakest and build upon that first. Do you find that readjusting your aim quickly when an enemy comes from an unsuspected angle is incredibly challenging? Then you should work on your flick aim first. Do you find that you have trouble killing pistol players with your rifle because they're moving very quickly? Then you should start working on your tracking aim. And spray control is pretty self-explanatory. The best way to practice individual parts of your aim is outside of Deathmatch and custom maps. All the maps I'll be showing are in the description below. The first map I'll show you is Training Aim CSGO 2. This map is great for practicing flick aim and reducing your target acquisition time, while also maintaining accuracy and precision. On this map, I generally start out with a flick aim exercise. I change the target to white, the amount of targets to 100, the delay to 0.25, and the static target duration to 0.50. I go to level 2 and I start practicing. As you can see, I try to flick very quickly to the target, and I always turn my crosshair to the center to make sure that I'm actually practicing flick aim rather than trying to predict where the target's going to be. Remember that the whole point of this is to practice your flicks, so if you're moving slowly, then you're doing yourself a disservice. The targets will be moving very quickly anyway, so it's going to discourage that. If you find it too challenging, you can start out with higher static duration. I wouldn't change the delay, but find something that's challenging for you and you're comfortable with at the same time, and work on that. Try to find a good number that you can go for and that you can measure your success with. After a few iterations of classic fast aiming, I switch over to intensive fast aiming. I change the size to 8R, and I have the respawn time and the target limit to default. What this does is decrease your target acquisition time while maintaining accuracy. This mode really discourages missing, as after 7 targets pop up, the game is ended. On the size 8R, I try to get 100 targets before decreasing my target size. One thing to mention is that you should turn on no spread in console while practicing your aim in custom maps like this, so that your shot will be 100% accurate. The console command for this is in the description below. After you're comfortable with this size, try decreasing the size to 5R and increasing the respawn time to 0.7, and try and get used to acquiring targets that are a little bit smaller, but you have a little bit more time to do it. And again, once you get used to that, and you can get up toward 100 targets, decrease the respawn time back down to 0.6 and try it on 5R. If you find that this is still easy for you, then keep on going. Try and decrease the respawn time to 0.5 or decrease the size to 3R and see how you do. You know, the sky's the limit. If you're not being challenged, then you should keep on pushing yourself and your aim will keep on getting better and better. Another useful map is called Aimbots Biomechanical. I usually start out shooting still targets in the head as quickly as I can acquire them. This is very useful after the last map as it helps you get used to shooting normal targets again. I go for about 100 kills before moving on to training my tracking aim. To train your tracking aim, select the USP or the P2000. Reduce the size of the arena by looking up and clicking on the green blocks until they turn red. So just take it down one block on each side of the map. Go over and turn random movement on. Not the bottom one, but the top one. And then put the speed to 3. Now try and double dink all the targets in the head as you can, and try and get at least 100 kills before moving on. Once you're done, turn the speed off and the random movement off, and go ahead and increase the arena size once again. And this time we'll be practicing our spray control. So what you're going to want to do is aim at chest level and try and get that 4-shot AK spray on each target that you can, and just try and transition between the targets as quickly as you can, but allow enough time for your recoil to reset. It's just very useful to get your confidence in your spray control at any range, and it really transitions very well over into the game. Another useful map to practice your recoil is called Recoil Master, also by Untitled. So lock your movement into place and reset, and try and follow this ghost crosshair with the spray pattern as best you can, and do this over and over a few times until you're very comfortable with what the spray pattern is. Once you're comfortable with that, go ahead and turn off the ghost crosshair, turn on a T target, and practice actually shooting at a target. You should go for, I'd say, at least 70% on target from this range. So I like to get it toward 90%. Before moving on. And I don't use this map very often, but every once in a while I'll return to it just to make sure that my spray is what I think it is, and it's a good way to reset and relearn the spray pattern. And finally, there's nothing wrong with Ffa Deathmatch as long as you practice it appropriately. Don't put yourself in advantageous positions, such as holding up in pit, getting easy kills. This defeats the purpose of practicing. Instead, focus less on your kill-death ratio and focus on improving in a certain area. Generally, when I play deathmatch, I only go for spray kills. No matter if I'm 15 rounds into a spray and the guy's not dead, I just hold it out. Eventually, you'll learn how to correct the spray quickly. After about 100 AK kills, switch over to the M4 for 100 kills, and then after that, go for 100 deagle kills. If you do that every day, you'll be a beast aimer in no time. This wraps up my discussion on training your aim. If you like this video, please leave a comment and let me know what kind of videos you'd like me to do in the future. I was thinking of making a video about clutching, which I think would be very fun and very useful to a lot of players. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope it helps. Have a good one, guys.